Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Hymn Sing. It is that time again for Hymn Sing. Just making sure my other camera here. I have so many cameras going on, but that is the life of live streaming some music. Okay, that looks, just about. Well, all the same, welcome. So glad that you are here. My name is Erin. I'm part of the music ministry here at Robertson Wesley United Church, and we are here to sing some hymns for an hour. Because we are part of the United Church of Canada, most of the hymns that we are going to be singing today come out of our two main worship resources. We have Voices United, as well as More Voices. These are our two main hymn book resources for the United Church of Canada. If you are from our United Church congregation, you may have these at home, so I would invite you to gather those and sing along with us. If you don't have access to those resources, I have the lyrics to the hymns. They will be right here on this part of your screen, so you can still sing along. And if you have access to like another web browser, you can access some of the music at the website called hymnary.org. That's a great resource for some hymn music online. So today is a very special hymn sing because we have a special guest. And that special guest is Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hi. How's everybody this morning? You got your bottle of water?
I have coffee today. I mean, they say it's not the best for the voice, but I like it, so I'm going to drink it.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, so Sarah is an alto in the Robertson Wesley Choir. And Sarah, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Robertson Wesley Choir is one of the latest choirs that I've sung in. I like to sing in a church choir. It's where I feel most at home. But I also like to do a pickup choir every year, just for a little bit of a challenge and a different kind of format. And I've sung in choirs since, I was just telling Erin that one of my earliest memories is being scolded for holding the music up like this. Well, I was 7. And I bet you I couldn't even read yet because I didn't go to school. Like there was no kindergarten and I didn't go to school till I was 6. So I'm thinking, I bet you I couldn't read.
But you could hear when you hold your music like this.
But I could hear
your voice come right back at you.
So I've sung in for lots of people with lots of interesting backgrounds, and in Dawson Creek in a 70-voice chamber choir, and which is a challenge, and in Mennonite choir in Abbotsford, which was a very professional choir. That was tough to keep up to. So.
Yeah.
Lots of fun and challenge.
Right on. Okay.
So let's sing.
All right, so I'm so glad you joined us today. We are going to start with More Voices number 138, and that's My Love Colors Outside the Lines. So let's do this. Here we go. Exploring paths that few could ever find, and takes me into places where I've never been before, and opens doors to worlds outside the lines. My Lord, colors outside the lines. Turns wounds to blessings, water into not prepared to die and realize there are worlds outside the lines. Verse 3, my soul longs to color outside the lines. Tear back the curtains, sun, come in and shine. I want to walk beyond the boundaries where I've never been before. Throw open doors to worlds outside the lines. Bridge, we'll never walk on water if we're not prepared to drown. Body and soul need a soak in from time to time. And we'll never move the gravestones if we're not prepared to die and realize there are worlds outside the lines. Last verse. My soul longs to color outside the lines. Tear back the curtains, sun, come in and shine. I want to walk beyond the boundaries where I've never been before. Throw open doors to worlds outside the lines. That's such a good pick.
Well, and I'm sorry because we have sung it before several times,
Of course.
but I really think when we're looking at Black Lives Matter and thinking about systemic racism, that it's really important to, look at things a little differently. And this hymn encourages us and gives us support to do that,
I think
to
so.
be better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I really like the image of coloring outside the lines. I think it's
Me
wonderful.
too.
It's neat. So that was, of course, that one was your pick, Sarah. We're going to still do the ones that we are going to do in worship for Sunday as well. And this one for Sunday comes out of a different resource book. So this one comes from All God's Children Sing. So this is it's called the Children's Music Resource, and it was published by Wood Lake Books, which publishes many of the United Church resources, in about, I don't even know what year it is, but looks to me like 70s or 80s kind of thing. And so there's lots of there's great kids songs in here, and songs for, I would like to say, kids of all ages, even kids my age and older. So there's a great one in here called Take Off Your Shoes, because one of our scriptures this week deals with Moses going to I think it's the burning bush, and it's you're standing on holy ground now, just be aware of that. And so there's a song in here that's Take Off Your Shoes, you're standing on holy ground. So it goes very nicely with that scripture. So we're going to do this one. And let me just put the words up. There we go. Okay, so this one is, here's the words. Here we go. Take off your shoes. And we'll sing this through a couple of times, just because it's so nice and short. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, from the your shoes. You're standing on my holy ground. Take off your shoes. You're standing on my holy ground. Well, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, from the waters beneath to the heavens above. So take off your shoes. You're standing on my holy ground. You're standing on my holy ground. I think that one's really cute and fun. It's just a little bit goofy, but very fun. All right. So, Sarah, when you emailed me your hymn choices, you kind of built it around a theme. Do you want to tell us what this theme is?
Well, other than the first one, which just kind of jumped off the page and grabbed me, I went through these two hymn books and kind of flipped pages and did a little research. And other than this first one and the color, the very first one, this As the Deer Pants for the Water is also by Martin Nystrom, but the rest of them all have either a female lyricist or a female composer. Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. And having sung in your graduation choir, I knew that would make you happy. And it was a real challenge for me and a real interest for me to see how many different women, because I knew Ruth Duck and I knew Linnea Good, but I found some new people.
Cool.
And it's like, oh, this is a surprise. I like this.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And like, for me, as soon as I start looking for those things, like how many women are here, how many women are represented, it really shows you like, oh, it's not always a lot.
Yeah.
Even though we think, oh yeah, we've got a few, it's fine. Like when you actually count it up, it doesn't always show us equality.
Not a high percentage, is it?
No, exactly.
No. No.
But there is some great representation in here, and so I think it's really wonderful that you chose hymns with that in mind. So we're gonna go to number 766 in Voices United. Now I have to find it. 766.
And I particularly like the melody in this one. I think that the melody really, it was hot when I chose these. So I was thinking, I'm hot and panting for water.
Oh boy.
This has a very interesting kind of lean to the words. So to me, it kind of, it goes along nicely, and then you think, oh, and you kind of lean into it, and it becomes a very, very touching and emotional piece. So particularly at the ends of the verses where it's, I long to worship you, and where now is your God, and you kind of lean into that. Then the third one is praise you with a song, and you really want to get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a mark of good text setting, good text writing, and good text setting.
There's the words. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is number 766 in Voices United, As the Deer Pants for the Water. And I'll pull up the lyrics here and we'll go. Okay. As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. tears my only food, while my enemies jeer and taunt me, saying, where is now your God? You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. Why am I so sad, so troubled? Why must suffering be so long? I will hope in you, my God and Savior, praise you with a song. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. That's so lovely.
Yeah. And Lydia Pearson did the
Yeah.
paraphrase for verses 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So that's why this one was picked. Plus, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah,
It's turned down in my hymn book so that the kids know that this is to be played at my funeral.
Okay. Good to be prepared. All right. Well, I just wanted to check in on Facebook. Jane is here, and Tammy's here, and Mama Craig is here. So hello everybody. Welcome. And also Mama Craig says, "Yay, Sarah!" So there we go. Okay. So what do we have next? Now I need this device again. Haha. Oh, okay. This was another cool one. This is Crashing Waters at Creation. So tell me about this one. What made this a pick for you?
Well, I think I had to play this one once, and at a church service, at obviously a baptism, and I looked at this thing and went, "Oh my goodness, this is not your traditional hymn from the 1800s."
No.
And then I realized what it was because I started to play it, and it ripples to the left hand. It just crashes. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is the wave on the beach or the wave on the rocks. Yeah, and the water has to recede and it comes back again. And so there's all these big chords through it. And when you start looking at the water, we're going to the scripture is about, Jane will remember, the scripture is about Exodus and a piece of the Exodus story. And verse 2 is part of the Exodus story as well. So it sort of felt right to me, but I like this one. I like the words, and I like the daringness of it.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Have fun.
Yeah. Oh, I will. I was playing with this morning and digging right in. Okay, so this is number 449 in Voices United, and this is Crashing Waters at Creation. Crashing waters at creation, ordered by the Spirit's breath, fierce to witness days beginning from the brightness of night's death. Parting waters stood and trembled as the captives passed on. reveal the glory ever new and ever old. Living water, never ending, quench the thirst and flood the soul. Wellspring, source of life eternal, drench our dryness, make us whole. Oh wow, that's so dramatic. It's such a dramatic one.
Well, I just realized it could be a strum too. That could be a strum.
Absolutely, depending on the instrument that you have, like
Yeah.
a guitar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. That would be a fun one to do with all kinds of different instruments. Neat. I like that pick. All right, so we are going to now move to... Oh, this is another one that is coming up for Sunday. We had to intersperse them somehow. I thought this would go nicely here. This one's Walk With Me, at number 649 in Voices United. 649. And this one, I was wondering, like, oh, I wonder, just now that I'm thinking about it, who's this written by? Two men named John. So, but you know what? I still like this one. It's a lovely hymn. So this one is Walk With Me at number 649 in Voices United, and this one's for Sunday worship. Walk with me, I will walk with you, and build the land that God has planned where love shines through. When Moses heard the call of God, he said, Lord, don't send me. But God told Moses, you're the one to set my people free. Walk with me, I will walk with you, and build the land that God has planned where love shines through. Now Peter was a most unlikely man to lead the flock, but Jesus knew his holiness, and he became the rock. Walk with me, I will walk with you, and build the land that God has planned where love shines through. Young Mary Magdalene was sure her life could be much more, and by her faith she dared to let God's love unlock the door. Walk with me, I will walk with you, and build the land that God has planned where love shines through. And when you share your faith with me and work for life made new, the witness of your faithfulness calls me to walk with you. Walk with me, I will walk with you, and build the land that God has planned where love shines through. There we are.
There we go. I got an alto line.
You did,
Awesome.
I know. Oh boy. were talking about that just before the stream went live. So many of the newer hymns get written as unison lines with piano accompaniments and not with the traditional ones that we see with SATB that can be played by an organ and sung by a choir. And it's just kind of a trend, I suppose. But Sarah, you mentioned maybe it was because there's many United churches that don't have access to organs.
Yeah.
And so and perhaps choir programs aren't what they used to be either. Like I know at Robertson Wesley we're super, I want to say lucky and blessed that our choir is the way that it is.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's huge, and we have a really, really great choir that we can do things like that. But not every church is going to have that, and so the resources that we have kind of have to work for all of the churches within our denomination. So we'll see lots of different things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's look at this next one that you've chosen. And this one I look at often. This one's in More Voices number 76, and this one's If I Have Been the Source of Pain. Can you tell me a bit about this one for you?
I really like this hymn. I use it a lot, just as a transition piece in a congregation to settle things a little bit. And for me, it's very heartfelt. If I've been the source of pain, we all have the tendency to put our feet in our mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just change feet,
Yeah.
And I think, again, at this time with all the politics and all the upheaval, social upheaval we're seeing, that a truly heartfelt, I know I'm doing wrong, I'm trying to do better, is really important. And this one was written, the words were written by Sarah Hall, with an English translation by another woman. But you were right, Erin, there's lots of lyricists.
Yeah.
There aren't many composers. So, but the words just really mean a lot to me. And it's very simple. And I thought, how simplistic the first line is, the first couple of lines, it just goes up and it comes down again. It goes up and it comes. And I thought, you know what? That's a wail. That's a wail of pain.
Yes.
Like that's oh, God, what have I done now? Kind of thing. And I thought, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Beautiful. Well, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And for those of you who are watching on the stream here, there are English words and Spanish words, and I tried to put both on the screen. So I'm just going to switch over to that lyric screen and show you. Okay, so no, this way. That way. Haha. So the English words, they're all like further justified to the left. And so if you only want to sing the English words, you just skip all of the indented paragraphs. Those ones are in Spanish. And you do the ones that are all the way far to the left. If you want to sing the Spanish or try out some of the Spanish, you're going to do every indented paragraph that's also in italics. So I just wanted to show that there were both and invite you to try and sing whichever language you would like. Because as we talked about with Maria, sometimes singing in another language can help you understand the piece in a different way. So I put both up there. It's up to you. And just because I can't fit them all, after verse 3, I may have to take a little bit of a fermata and scroll the words so we can all see verse 4, and then we'll continue from there. So this is If I Have Been the Source of Pain at number 76 in More Voices. If I have been the source of pain, have spoken words of cruelty, if I have left some suffering unrelieved, condemn me my insensitivity, forgive me, God. If I've insisted on a peaceful life, far from the struggles that the gospel brings, when you prefer to guide me to the strife, forgive me, God. Receive, O God, this ardent word of prayer, and free me from temptation's subtle snare. With tender patience, lead me to your care. Amen, amen. That is beautiful. Just gorgeous. Oh, Sarah, I think you're on mute. Ah, very good.
I just wanted to make sure you.
Very good Zoom etiquette. I appreciate it. That's a
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I just find this very moving, very, in its simplicity.
Yeah.
It doesn't dazzle you with,
No, it doesn't need to, right?
No, no.
Sometimes it's just okay to not have that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I wanted to put these two back to back. The next one I want to look at is The Quiet Curve of Evening, which is Voices United number 278. And to me, like, when I looked through your list of ones you sent me, these ones had very similar, like, moods, I suppose. Like, the message is a little different, but the overall, like, feel of it is very similar.
Yeah.
Was that your thought
for
too?
sure.
What else? Were there other...
Again, this is written lyrics and word and melody by Julie Howard, and I thought it was really interesting because, what did you call it? Text
setting.
Text setting.
Yeah.
You can see when somebody writes the words and the music how well you can feel like okay, my composer's side is telling me I need to do this, but my lyricist side says I need a little space here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I really like it because she takes the space she needs. So when you get down to in the lapses of my breathing, we've been coming along kind of chunk, walking along.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's the first time we get a little longer note and a short one. So there's a dotted quarter and an eighth. And it's the lapses. It's almost like your breath got taken away.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, I hadn't seen that before until I was really looking at it, and I thought, jeepers, this person's really good. And I've always liked this because I like the different images. Sometimes we don't always pay attention, and you start. And so this gives that imagined side I can say it better. Sometimes church is very wordy.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, it's really nice to have some pictures thrown in that gets that part of your brain moving too. And I like the pictures in here.
Beautiful. I love that. So this is In the Quiet Curve of Evening, Voices United 278. the sinking of the days, in the silky void of darkness, you are there. In the lapses of my breathing, in the space between my ways, in the crater carved by sadness, you are there. You are there. You are there. You are there. In the rests between the phrases, in the cracks between the stars, in the gaps between the meaning, you are there. In the melting down of endings, in the cooling of the sun, in the solstice of the winter, you are there. You are there. You are there. You are there. In the mystery of my hungers, in the silence of my moods, in the cloud of my unknowing, you are there. In the empty cave of grieving, in the desert of my dreams, in the tunnel of my sorrow, you are there. You are there. You are there. You are there. That one just feels like a nice calming breath to me.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
sing.
And I was thinking of our new choir baby and her mummy up in the middle of the night in the darkness, singing, you know, that last 4 bars or 4 or 5 bars reminds me of a rocking chair, you know, just kind
Absolutely.
of rocks.
It's
And I
very
thought,
like-
oh, I know who's up rocking in the middle of the night.
Oh. Yeah, it's a very comforting thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna check in on our Facebook one more time. Oh, Joyce is here, so hello, Joyce. And Jane says it's wonderful, great idea to focus on women composers and lyricists. And for one of those ones a while back, Tammy had said great alto line, so that's where we're at. Because there are some very good alto lines. Okay, so the next one I have from you is In the Bulb There Is a Flower. This one's very sweet. I do quite like this one. So tell me about why you picked this one.
This one has some good memories with it. We had 3 young sopranos in the church choir in Dawson Creek, and when they're like, what do you mean? Because the first verse you get, you know, we all know that daffodils grow from bulbs, and you know there's going to be a spring, but when you get into some of the other things, there's a song in every silence seeking word and melody. It just, I thought, wow, it's caught some teenagers' attention.
Oh,
This is awesome.
cool. That's a great
Yeah, this
memory
works
for
for
this
me.
song.
And
Yeah.
and I like the idea that the pictures are about hope, even in fear and darkness. And but anyways, it calls me to have confidence in God, even though it feels really dark out there right now.
Oh, it sure does, doesn't it? Okay, I'm gonna, before we sing, I need to refill my coffee. 'Cause it's getting cold. And
You know that's a teapot, right?
yeah, but I don't have a coffee pot. So
We can.
It's what I got.
Sorry, said the tea granny.
No. I have a coffee pot, but Matthew uses it as his water jug. So I have to use Matthew's teapot as a coffee pot.
Oh, the compromises we have to make.
So that's...
In relationship. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Anyway, coffee time.
Sorry.
No. That's totally fine. I was thinking about that this morning. It's like, this is really not an ideal situation. That is okay. Okay, so we're going to go to 703 in Voices United. In the bulb, there is a flower. So here we go. There's a song in every silence, seeking word and melody. There's a dawn in every darkness, bringing hope to you and me. From the past will come the future, what it holds a mystery, unrevealed until its season, something good alone can see. In our end is our beginning, in our time infinity, in our doubt there is believing, in our life eternity, in our death a resurrection, at the last a victory, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. You know, I loved thinking about the words like that, that it is kind of revolutionary to say there's a song in every silence, there's a dawn in every darkness. Like, this is one of those ones that I think, like, oh, for me it was just, oh, it's a pretty one and people sing it all the time, and I just kind of dismissed it a little bit. But there's so much in there. Thank you for reframing that for me. That was great. Yeah. Okay, so I have, this is going to be our last one for Sunday. And this is going to be in Voices United number 582. This one's There's a Spirit in the Air. Oh, I'm just realizing to myself, I practiced all of yours, and I didn't practice this one. I mean, I practiced, obviously.
Right, you knew I was going to do it to you.
We'll go through this. At least I have some time before Sunday. This is maybe why I do this. So this is 582, There's a Spirit in the Air. So let's go here. Scroll the words. There we go. Praise the love that Christ revealed, living, working in our world. Lose your shyness, find your tongue, tell the world what Christ has done. Praise the Christ has come to stay, live tomorrow's life today. When believers break the bread, when a hungry child is fed, praise the love that Christ revealed, living, working in our world. Still the Spirit gives us light, seeing wrong and setting right. God in Christ has come to stay, live tomorrow's life today. When a stranger's not alone, where the homeless find a home, praise the love that Christ revealed, living, working in our world. May the Spirit fill our praise, guide our thoughts and change our ways. God in Christ has come to stay, live tomorrow's life today. There's a Spirit in the air, calling people everywhere. Praise the love that Christ revealed, living, working in our world. So I need to do a little bit more practice on that. That's a fun
Well,
one.
after 7 verses, you did really well.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it just took me all 7 to get there.
I didn't say that.
No, but I did. It's fine. I would have admitted to it anyway.
Well, look, we've even got a descant in here.
Oh my
We've got
gosh.
a nice, challenging alto line, and we found a descant too.
Here we
because
go.
Was the other
There was
thing I was
one.
feeling bad.
Tammy, I hope you were up on that descant.
Yeah.
I know that's her favorite thing. Or one of her favorite things in hymn sing. Yeah. So I'm just checking in on the comments here. Oh, we're just same folks saying hello. That is great. So we have time for 2 more pieces. And where are we? Okay. So we are going to go to More Voices one more time at number 135. And this one was Called by Earth and Sky. And
I thought this was interesting because I really liked the line that's down at the bottom of the page here, a call to live with respect in creation.
yeah.
And that particular phrase was added after that creed was written. It's a line from the 1986 creed, but that one line, live with respect in creation, was added afterwards. And it celebrates the ancient tradition of the 4 elements. And it having done Crashing Waters, which reminded me of BC and my roots, I thought, this reminds me of prairie. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked this one.
Great imagery here. Okay. So I tried to get the English and the French on the screen, and no matter how many words I tried to squish somewhere, I couldn't do it. So I apologize for those of you who would like to sing in French. But we're going to sing it in English. If you happen to have your More Voices in front of you and you feel like singing in French, by all means, please do. I just could not fit the words on the screen no matter what I tried to do. But I think the imagery is delightful in either language, so we are okay with that. All right, so here we go. We are going to do Called by Earth and Sky. This is at More Voices, number 135. Called by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. Called by earth and sky, precious these waters, endless seas, deep ocean's dream, waters of healing, rivers of rain, the wash of love again. Called by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. Called by earth and sky, precious this gift, the air we breathe, wind born and free, breath of the Spirit blow through this place, our gathering and our grace. Called by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. Called by earth and sky, precious these mountains, ancient sands, vast fragile land, seeds of our awakening, rooted and strong, creation's faithful song. Called by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. Called by earth and sky, precious the fire that lights our way, bright dawning day, fire of passion, sorrows undone, our faith and justice won. Called by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. Called by earth and sky, called by earth and sky. That is such a beautiful pick. Oh,
Isn't that a pretty melody?
yes. And the refrain is like, it's nice and like mid to high range, but like the verses really get into like an alto range. And so
That's
for
exactly
so
what
many
I was
of us
thinking.
who sing either alto or bass, like some of the lower voice types, it's nice to have a song that works for us,
Yes.
rather than having to, I can't reach it. 'Cause so many of the hymns are written in a soprano or a tenor range. So that I like it for that reason also, as well as
Yes.
as
Yes.
well as the image.
Well, and the French is very interesting too. Like if you actually look at the French
Yeah.
and read the French, it's really neat. It's just slightly different, and it's a little more texture, as Maria was saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have time for probably one more hymn here. And so before we do that, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Sarah, are you doing a dance? That's one of my favorite things, like dancing, as if we get to process dancing down the aisles in our choir robes. Great. So I just, yes.
Oh, you're outing us. Do you realize you're outing?
Oh, no, they can't see us. It's fine. We're at the back. Nobody can see. Oh, so I want to thank everybody. Thank you for tuning in today, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or the Robertson Wesley site. Whether you're with us in time or whether you are watching later, thank you. It is so lovely to make music together, even if we are not in the same space. We are still making music together. And so that is a lovely, lovely gift that we can give each other every week. We will be here next week again at the same hymn sing time for more hymn sings. I don't have a special guest yet lined up. So if this is something, if you're watching and this is something that interests you and you'd like to pick some hymns to sing, send me an email at, where's my email address? Nope, this one. Send me an email at music@rwuc.org and let me know. One of the philosophies that Robertson Wesley kind of lives by is, if you're here, you're already one of us. So if you are watching this hymn sing, regardless of whether you have been to Robertson Wesley before, regardless of whether you live in Edmonton, regardless of whether you know me in person, you can come. You can do this if this is something that you would like to do. So let me know. It's fun. We have a good time. Isn't that right, Sarah? Yeah, I'm going to say that's a yes. We have a great time. So do let me know. Send me an email. And you too can host the hymn sing and choose our hymns and talk about why you love them. I think it's just a nice way to get to know the music of our tradition. Like, not just my ideas of what it is, but our whole community's ideas of what that music means to us. What else can I tell you? We have worship on Sunday in this space at 10:30 a.m. So we will sing some of the hymns that we sang here, and we will get the whole worship experience. And if you will check our website, there's lots of other things that go on online as well. There's a scripture reflection class, there's affirming ministries that happen. There's all kinds of things that happen online. So check out our website. And when I go back to the other page, you'll see a scrolling thing of all the activities that we have online. So I hope that we'll see you in some other place. So with all of that, let's sing our last hymn, which I was super happy to see this one picked. This is Make a Joyful Noise. So Sarah, tell me about this one for you.
I was looking at this, Linnea Good wrote this one. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at this and I was thinking about how before there was music notation and before there was written language and before maybe even a lot of speech, there was still music in our heartbeat, mm-hmm. in our souls as we connect to the environment and connect to each other. And I thought, for me, it's really core, truly core. And I just think it speaks across languages and across cultures to make a happy noise. That new baby's probably making some happy noises.
So many noises. Yes, so many. Absolutely. I think this is a lovely one a lovely idea to go out on and a lovely song to go out on. So thank you, Sarah, for being here. This was such a pleasure.
And we didn't even giggle the whole time.
Not
it's
the whole
awesome.
Time. Maybe a little bit, but not the whole time. So I think we succeeded. I'll call that a success. Okay, so let us sing together. This is Voices United number 820, Make a Joyful Noise. Here we go. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Worship your God with gladness. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Come to this place with a song. Know that your God has made you. Know that it's God we belong. And come to this place with joyfulness and praise. Worship your God with a song. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Worship your God with gladness. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Come to this place with a song. Enter these gates, thanksgiving. Enter these courts with praise. Sing thanks to your God and bless the holy name. Worship your God with a song. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Worship your God with gladness. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Come to this place with a song. Ages through endless ages, seasons of endless years, the love of our Maker ever shall endure. Worship your God with a song. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Worship your God with gladness. Make a joyful noise, all the earth. Come to this place with a song. Hooray! Wonderful.
I didn't fall off my chair.
Didn't you? Oh, hooray!
No.
Well, then I call that a success, Sarah. I absolutely call that a success. So thank you, Sarah, for joining me. This was so much fun. Thank you, everybody else, for being here. And we will see you here next week, hopefully. Have a great week and take care. Be well. Bye.